Welcome to part 26 of Cyberpunk 2077. In this episode, we're going to save Evelyn this time around, because the last time I had to stop because the game crashed. Vintage Cyberpunk 2077. And now we're about to get into a cutscene. So with that said, I cut out a lot of load times because of also the brain dance having load times as well. Thank me later.
Come on, is it really that hard? Please, just one. For me?
Fine, have it your way. Smoke to your lungs' content.
Finally, something better than exhaust in the stench of the city. Don't tell me you don't feel it too. We going in?
Let's give him a couple. You saw how she looked.
If it was up to me, I would have splashed some water on her face back at the studio and asked her straight up.
It's not up to you, though, is it? Let's go.
For a guy who could be exposition, sometimes Johnny Silverhand can be a... Oh god, the relic's attacking me again. We're going into another important plot point, aren't we? God damn. Yeah, you know this is happening whenever you're going to a plot point. This does not happen on side missions. Unless, of course, there's certain specific side missions involving your romantic love interest. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm just raiding Judy's apartment because if I end up making a mistake and choose the wrong thing during the side quest, we'll miss out on these items for good. So let's talk to Judy, shall we?
At least I think she is. Her eyes are closed and she's not shaking anymore. I would have already killed her by now if I didn't feel so bad for her.
You're mad at her. Why?
When you asked me to scour her behavioral chip, I was just about done dealing with your shit.
Judy, I didn't have any...
I know. It's okay.
So I don't get why...
You'll find out in a sec. I'll show you the virtue I found.
How many BDs did you manage to rip?
2. Only one of them's intact. Understandable, though. The rest... Well, they're in the same
Okay.
shape as Evelyn.
Show me.
Give me a sec while I set the parameters.
Guess we'll find out if our doll really did lose her tune. Come on, V. I'll be the first to admit, this does not look good.
Listen, Evelyn, I really need your help. It's important. If I don't do anything, and do it soon, I'll die.
Well now, look at you.
Hey, how you feeling? Need anything? Not here to nag. Just talk. I know it's a bad time, but I gotta ask. You got any idea how to remove the biochip? Or know anyone else who might?
You're right. This is a complete waste of time.
I was trying to get the shard, but I accidentally triggered the cutscene again. We don't need to talk to Evelyn. Evelyn is down and out for the count. And, yeah.
Need anything?
We're not gonna bring up anything else further than that. Save that for later.
You're right.
Right now, we need to meet with Judy for a brain dance.
Have a seat.
All right, roll it.
Data was in pretty rough shape. Not all that editable.
Glad you managed to salvage him in the first place.
Needs a second to load. Quality's lousy, but I did what I could.
Alright, time to dive into this brain dance to find out who is it that put Evelyn up to this godforsakenly bad heist that pretty much got almost everybody killed. So, with that said, before we start, we have to check the visual to see the Vive marking.
I recognize these.
And that will reveal who actually put Evelyn up to doing this.
Not enough to know what they actually mean.
And the people who put her up to it was none other than the Voodoo Boys.
It's just a hunch.
A group of isolationists that have their own netrunner, their own network, and they're pretty much a big deal in Pacifica.
What am I looking out for?
Yeah, sadly we're gonna have to go to Pacifica, unfortunately.
Tech ice.
Can't see her face.
And here's the thing. Though Evelyn tried to get the identity of the person who was talking to her in her personal BD recorder,
That, or someone's working.
somehow, some way, the voodoo boy that she was talking to blurred her face. There's one more thing we need to find.
Security. We need a layout of the whole room.
It should be on the ground somewhere. It'll show up eventually.
Only if you can do it and be.
It's basically telling the whole gist of this DD is to look for clues as to where exactly Evelyn got this crazy idea from.
If he starts talking about the
And
biochip.
the clue should, yeah, there we go. Stop right there. Back up past me. I had to wait for it to actually get to that point.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is, right there.
Maybe, but all of them are from Pacifica.
So, with that said, we're gonna have to go to Pacifica to meet up with the Voodoo Boys.
Trip to Pacifica.
And needless to say, fuck the Voodoo Boys. Oh, you'll see in just a moment.
Biochip.
As soon as we get out of this brain dance.
That is not of interest to you. You spin
Because
the
here's
vessel,
the thing.
Come back here. We give you
Evelyn
the
Parker
That is your one.
had went there and made a deal with the
rest
Voodoo
is none of your
Boys
concern.
to try to get Johnny Silverhand's Ingram to them for some
I
reason.
think we got everything.
And now we're gonna find out why in a bit.
What do you think?
Now we know what happened to Clouds. They're the ones who tried to flatline her. Launched a nuke at her chip.
So it was punishment? For getting played by her?
She knew more than they thought she knew. Couldn't let that go.
So that's who she was running from.
Woman who hired Evelyn. Any idea who we're up against?
Your guess is as good as mine. Sorry, V.
Looks like Evelyn never told us the whole truth.
You're telling me. If I'd known what she'd gotten herself into... Ugh, I'm so mad at her.
Her only job was to record a virtue. Pretty damn amazing she managed to organize a full-blown heist. And swipe the biochip from under her boss's noses.
So that's where you came in. She hired you. And brought this all on herself. On you two. There's one more recording. Wanna see it?
Sure, why not? Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Don't worry, folks, this is the last brain dance. By the way, the only reason that Evelyn knew about the Voodoo Boys was the fact that she was eavesdropping on their conversation. That's the whole reason. I mean,
I know. Haitian Creole.
Evelyn followed them and was trying to find out what the deal is. However, she basically was put together this whole heist so that way she could get some money out of the whole ordeal and screw over her boss Yorinobu, who she was also fucking. So, what do the Voodoo Boys want? Well, the Voodoo Boys only wants the wait, let's wait for the audio. Come here. Go back to the audio. We have to listen. What the Voodoo Boys want is to get the Ingram of Johnny Silverhand because they think Johnny Silverhand knows where Alt Cunningham is. Now, for those who aren't aware who Alt Cunningham is, you might... Hold on, you know what? No. I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark. Alt Cunningham was the person who literally made the Soul Taker. And not only that, she also invented Mikoshi. And now it all makes sense as to why Johnny Silverhand wants to go to Mikoshi.
I don't get it. What's this have to do with Johnny Silverhand? He died, like, forever ago. V, you got any idea?
Biochip we stole? It's got Silverhand's engram burned onto it.
Engram?
Digitized psyche. Personality construct. Can you give me a minute? I need to go over some stuff in my head.
Of course.
Know who they are, who the woman is? Any idea how we find them?
Fuck, V. I've been dead the last half-century. Sorry if I'm unable to hand you all the answers on a chrome fucking platter when you snap your fingers.
These people, what could they want from Alt?
How the hell should I know?
Got no notion whatsoever?
One way or another, everything leads back to that Netrunner. Finding her's our biggest priority. If she knows as much as I think she knows about the chip, she can help us out.
Thought you said nothing could help us.
Nah, just find us that Juju wirehead, okay?
Wait, you got any idea how to get in touch with the Voodoo Boys?
I'll ask around. Make a few calls. Let me put it this way. The Voodoo Boys wouldn't trust a cat if it walked onto their turf. But someone's gotta know a way in.
Well, good luck. Hope you won't need it.
Thanks, Judy.
No, V. Thank you. You're a good person. Evelyn could never see what was under people's skin. If she could have gotten to know you a bit better, then... who knows? Things might have turned out differently.
Now, I know that was a major spoiler, but if you would have kept listening in onto the conversation, it would have revealed that Alt Cunningham was the person who created the Soul Taker and Mikoshi. So with that said, we're going to have to call Mr. Hands in order for us to actually set up a meeting with the Voodoo Boys, specifically having us to go to Pacifica.
V, what's shaking?
Need to make contact with the Voodoo Boys chief if you can swing it.
All right. Straight to heavy business. Now, that'd be Maman Brigitte. Be tough getting a word into her.
Really don't do any biz with them?
Not with the chefs, cheffins, priests, and whatnot. All got dirigible-sized egos, won't talk to lowly me. But if you insist, I can ask around, try to set something up. I'll just need some details first.
Got something they want.
Truly? Want to sell something to the VDBs? Trust me, they don't want it, they don't need it. They're isolated, insulated, they got their own contracts, tech, networks. But, have it your way. Okay, I'll see what I can do and get back to you.
I think now you could put 2 and 2 together of what the Voodoo Boys was truly after. They had Evelyn to try to steal Johnny Silverhand's Ingram, to get Alt to tell him about the Soul Taker, so that they could use the Soul Taker for themselves. But we're not going to focus on the Voodoo Boys just yet. We got some side missions to do for the next 2 parts. And probably we'll get our car somewhere along the line. See you guys next time.